by King Nabonidus, who left Belshazzar in charge at Babylon Nineveh, Assyrian capital, which fell to a coalition of Chaldeans and Medes in 632 BCE. Karchemish. Nebuchadnezzar II defeated Egyptian forces here, establishing Babylonian supremacy in Syria. Jerusalem became tributary to Babylon in 620 BCE, besieged by Babylonian forces in 618-617 and in 609-607 BCE. Tyre capitulated to Babylonian forces after a 13-year siege. 321 Caspian Cscri Karchemish Nineveh Tigrisriver Desriver Damascus Tyre Jerusalem Temeelam Babylon Shushan Persia Gulf Egyptga Tsia Medi. A reconstruction of the Ishtar Gate ziggurat at Ur. The tower erected at Babel was likely a religious ziggurat such as this. This inscription sets out the boasting of Nebuchadnezzar II regarding all he did to enlarge and extend Babylon. Compared R4. 30 walls of Babylon. The city appeared to be impregnable. It was protected by a massive system of double walls. A second set of walls surrounded the eastern part of the city. A wall also served as a protection along the eastern bank of the Euphrates, which ran through the city. The Temple of Marduk was the central feature of Babylon. Associated with it was the Tower of Et-Menanke, viewed by some as the Tower of Babel, which reached to a height of 91 meters, 300 feet. Decoration from Babylon's processional way. Interestingly, Babylon is symbolized in the Bible by a lion. 7. 4. Clay model of a sheep's liver, inscribed with omens and magical formulas. Used in Babylon for divination. Compares 21. 20-22 Nabonidus, the last supreme monarch of Babylon, with symbols of his gods: crescent of the moon god Sin, winged disc of the sun god Shamash, star of Ishtar. Looking to the heavenly bodies, and the gods that were associated with these, did not save Babylon. Isra 47. 12-15 This is claimed to be the oldest remaining example of a horoscope. From Babylonia. Believed to date from the 5th century BCE, the ruins of ancient Babylon testify to the reliability of Bible prophecy. Babylon was once the decoration of kingdoms. Now it is a desolate waste. Isra 13. 19-22. J 50. 13. The Fall of Babylon. Nabonidus Chronicle. A cuneiform tablet that confirms the sudden fall of Babylon to Cyrus. Ancient Jerusalem enjoyed a unique distinction. It was the only earthly city upon which Jehovah placed his name. 1 K 11. 36 It was also the center for the pure worship of Jehovah. His temple was built there, and for that reason Jerusalem could especially be called God's resting place. PS 132. 13, 14. 135. 21 In addition, Jerusalem was the location where the kings of the Davidic line sat on Jehovah's throne, representing him by administering his laws. 1 Ch 29. 23. In contrast, ancient Babylon was the center from which false worship spread to all parts of the earth. It was of special significance, therefore, when Jehovah permitted Babylon to destroy unfaithful Jerusalem. In 620 BCE Jerusalem was made a subject to Babylon. 2 Chi 24. 3 years later, in 617 BCE the Babylonians deported many of Jerusalem's inhabitants, its nobility, its mighty men, and its craftsmen, and looted the city's treasures. 2 Ch 36. 5-10 Finally, the city, along with the temple, was destroyed and thousands of Jews were taken into exile. 2 Ch 36. 17-20. Jerusalem's destruction took place in 607 BCE, a very significant year from the standpoint of Bible prophecy. Although this date differs from the one used by many Bible commentators, it is used consistently in this publication. Why? Because we give greater weight to the testimony of the Bible than to the conclusions that scholars have drawn from the fragmentary record of history that is available on cuneiform tablets. Jerusalem's conquest by Babylon. Babylonian chronicle that tells of Nebuchadnezzar's capturing Jerusalem, seizing the king, and appointing one of his own choice. 617 BCE According to some archaeologists, this burnt room excavated in Jerusalem dates back to the destruction of Jerusalem at the time of Judah's last king 326. The Medes and the Persians are referred to repeatedly in the scriptures, because they pursued a policy of religious toleration that served to fulfill Bible prophecy. Jehovah had permitted the Jews to be taken into captivity by Babylon, a nation that did not release captive peoples. Yet, God also had foretold Jewish restoration to their homeland. Jah 27. 22. 30. 3 Medo-Persia, referred to in the Bible symbolically as Aberdar 7. 5, served Jehovah's purpose in this regard. Shortly after Babylon's fall, Persian King Cyrus decreed that the formerly captive Jews could return to their homeland and rebuild Jehovah's temple. As 1. 2-4 Darasi later honored this decree. As 6. 1-11 King Ahasuerus, evidently Xerxes I, when properly informed, signed a decree that thwarted a scheme to exterminate the Jews. As 7. 3. 8. 14 In 455 BC King Artaxerxes Longimanus granted permission for Nehemiah to rebuild Jerusalem's walls, thus beginning the prophetic countdown to the appearance of the Messiah. Ne 2. 3-8.